Okay, if that angle makes me look fat, I'm gonna smash your phone.
It's an awkward arrangement.
All right. Well,
so what Evan is doing is perching a phone on a tripod leg. It's weird. It's irrelevant. It's visual, and this is audio. So who cares?
Okay.
Let's just move on.
Let's just move on.
we have proof it happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Evan, I'm psyched. I'm psyched that you are contributing to these false starts that we are so good at having.
I know.
When we do the podcast. I'm just gonna stand here with my hand on my hip. I'm standing today.
Does it
this
feel
podcast.
awkward to be standing and doing the podcast?
No, I think it actually helps in radio. A lot of people will stand.
The
diaphragm.
The diaphragm thing.
I do
Yeah.
feel like you're trying to establish dominance over.
Well, when I
Evan
was,
and
I did this because the arrangement of three of us with one camera, we wanted to get us all in, and I thought maybe I'll just stand, and then I thought I'll be too tall for you guys, so I got you these stool seats to bring you up.
So we didn't look like children.
No,
that you're lecturing to.
we're rising together. Rising together. In fact, you guys have dominance because you have these seats, and I have to stand. I'm in SRO.
Yeah.
And you guys are in like in the front row. Okay.
If you were going to establish dominance, would you be a cat or a dog?
A dog.
Oh, for real?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
An alpha dog,
monkey.
bro. A dog, and it would be spelled
Monkey.
DAWG. A monkey.
Yeah. Can you think of a more dominant species?
I can't. No, I
then.
mean, if
I
you
mean,
fling
gonna,
poo
I was
at
just
people,
gonna say it will
the man.
eat your face off and then flick its doo-doo at you.
Yep.
So I mean,
it might
monkeys-
masturbate
badass.
on you too.
Oh, Jesus.
They do that. They do that like ferociously at zoos when they don't want to be looked at. Have you seen this?
no.
I knew the zookeepers had a weird fetish.
Yeah, I feel someone going down a YouTube rabbit hole later though.
Don't check my search history.
Jeez.
So hey, this is Small Town Scuttlebutt, and we like to hang out and just crack wise about all the BS that goes on in the world, and you can't get bogged down worrying about everything. You have to just say, hey, I can't control that. Fuck it, and then just sit back and listen to us make fun of it.
And this is a safe space, and Evan did say earlier he had something he needed to vent about. So I feel like we need to give him some grace.
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
The opportunity to do so.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
my
it's,
pleasure.
Oh, my goodness. So, I have a real estate business, but a lot of people, maybe some people know, maybe some people don't, but it's a family business too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that adds a whole new dynamic, shall we say.
Do you work for your parents or your parents work for you?
It used to be that I worked for them and now they work for me, but we all really work together.
Both your mom and dad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mom and dad, and and I refuse to let my wife ever join just because.
God. Yeah.
But they also, they have an in-law at our house too, so it's kind of like, oh wow. I'm always
no separation.
Oh, it's tough
right there.
It's tough. So anyway, I've been having quite a couple of days. It's been so crazy with real estate over the last couple of days. And, they are there to help when they need to, but, you're dealing with older people in technology, and I need stuff out, like quick. And, like this morning on my way over here, which is part of the reason why my equipment setup is kind of, we're like trying to find emails, like I sent it to you at 4:10 p.m. on April 1st, and like, I can't find it.
Your mom. Your mom is like, I printed them all out and put them in this pile.
So in order to alleviate the situation, I said, okay, I'm going to send it again. I pulled up the email. I put their address in. I forwarded it, and I, total passive-aggressively eliminated my signature line from it to forward the original message that went through at 4:10 p.m., and then 5 minutes later, I can't find it.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, oh, my dear Lord. and I said, so now it's like I try to have the patience as long as I can. But then eventually it's like I'm like a volcano, and I'm like, come on. And then I explode. I'm like, I sent it freaking 2 minutes ago. And they can't find it, And I'm like, duh, I gotta go. And then they're like, could you print it out, please? And I'm like, I'm running late. Oh, my God.
So what happened to the email? Did it go in the spam folder?
You know, I honestly have no idea.
Did you go right to spam?
I was just going to say they marked their own son as junk.
Yeah, exactly. I said check your spam folder. Anyway, so then I find myself trying to screenshot and text them a copy of it on my way over here, and like,
no.
you know, so I'm already at a level 11. You know.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, after you.
I was just going to ask, is there like any type of buffer between you and them? Do you have sort of like an assistant?
Yes, it's called the Small Town Scuttlebutt Podcast. That is my buffer.
Well, I hate to encroach on your buffer, but we have the other side of the story. Your dad's on the line here. Would that be great? If I had known this, I would be like,
right. Oh
so his name is Richard, and when I get mad at him, I call him Dick.
Nice.
Yeah.
To his face?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He must love that.
How much longer do you think that this family partnership can go
Dynamic.
on?
I mean, it's gone on for 17 years now, you know, so it's been interesting. I'm really trying to find ways to be more efficient and, you know, like a transaction coordinator, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Somebody that can just manage the paperwork. I don't have to say anything. They know what technology is and know how to use it. And that would be great. But until then, our relationship will suffer. And that sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Why did they retire?
I know.
It's called the Golden Handcuffs. And
yes.
it's like, you know, and to be honest with you, I think it keeps, you know, definitely keeps them sharp mentally.
Yeah.
And I want the best for them, and they want the best for me, and they think they're trying to help, and I'm like, it's really not helping, you know. But I also don't want, especially in their later years, I don't want our work relationship to get in the way of our personal relationship. You know, like I want them to enjoy this time, and I want to enjoy the time with them. And it's just, you know, it gets, oh man, it's tough. But anyway, we move on. Tomorrow is a new day.
Well, I can somewhat relate because my husband is part of a family business as well. So the staffing firm he runs was started by his father in the late 60s. And they've gone through many kind of machinations of their working relationship. I would say for the past 10 years, it's been, I mean, my husband's just run the business, like it's his. And my father-in-law has had no involvement in it at all.
Yep.
Prior to that, I was witness to many a screaming match between the two of them because my father-in-law would like kind of just do his own thing. And then like all of a sudden he'd want to just get into the weeds on the stuff that my husband was running. And my husband's like, you don't understand any of this now, and you're so far removed from it. And then it was just literal screaming matches, hanging up the phone, their relationship did suffer. It's fine now, but yeah, it's very emotional.
So I like to say we love each other intensely. You know, that's sort of the way it is, and work just happens to be, you know, kind of in the way. But Mom, if you're listening, I love you very much, and don't let this get in the way of anything. Yeah. There you go.
Aw.
And don't be a dick, Dad.
But the technology piece with old people, again, going back to my husband and my father-in-law, I would say every couple months, my husband will get a phone call from my father-in-law about something tech-related, and I just giggle in the background because I can only hear Dan's end of things. He's like, no, Dad, all right, so like lower right-hand corner, you should see like it should say blah, blah, blah. Click on that. Well, did you click on it? No, not that one. Yeah. No, Dad. Yeah. No, Dad. Like, oh my God. And then the best is anytime my father-in-law, and my father-in-law's a very intelligent man. Anytime he gets, you know, those fake emails from, you know, Citibank that says your account has been hacked. So he called my husband. He's like, I got this email from Citibank that my account was hacked. I don't even have an account at Citibank. What should I do with this email? Yeah. And Dan goes, delete it. And my father-in-law goes, then what? And Dan goes, nothing. I mean, it's like literally just that's the type of shit that, you know, we do. And I kind of get it. Like, I might be that person in 30 years and calling Will being like, I don't know what to do with this hologram that just appeared on my desk.
And what happened in the British accent?
Yes.
I woke up this morning. I'm from Wales. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm sort of encroaching on this, and I'd like to defend your father-in-law in this regard. I can't do anything for your parents. It sounds like that was just simple email. Even email document management can sometimes you get a lot. I should know I have 4,000 in my inbox right now. It's freaking my kid out. My daughter and my wife are like, I hate this. Anyway, with regard to your father-in-law, like having trouble navigating things, I have always been approached with, technically, okay, here's an example. I'm just talking about how it's like, this should be intuitive. I get frustrated.
Yes.
You guys, see if you can relate or tell me if I'm on my own. Here's a perfect example. I get an email saying, hey, your Cologuard results are in. I'm like, cool. Click here for the link. I click in. It says log in. I'm like, log in to what? Like, I don't hang out and check my Cologuard account.
No?
I don't, hey, catch me on Cologuard.com. You can follow me on. Like, what is, like,
how often are you mailing your poop that you need an account to track it?
Oh, well, apparently it's
serious.
Apparently I'm getting my third package.
Oh.
Yeah, because anyway, I get I'm looking at the thing and I can't get it. It says, oh, we sent the code to and I just said, I'm not doing it. So I didn't check my results.
I feel like in that regard, they should really be sending the results to your doctor, and you would get like an email from your patient portal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or actually, you know what? Maybe it was the patient portal. Maybe that was what I had.
Okay.
Whatever. How often what's my password to this?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Who's checking out my shit results? Who cares? Who wants that?
Your health insurance company, so they know if they should charge you more.
Oh, true.
Yeah, good point.
That's right. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But even those companies, they make it so difficult.
Yeah.
It's like you got 5 different steps, and God forbid you lose your password. Then you've got to get the code. They text it to you, it didn't go through, and then you got to email. It's like,
oh yeah. Well, then they send you. Oh, we sent you a code. You put the code in. It says code not valid. I'm like, well, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. So I don't understand all these layers for the most, like, getting into your kids' like school thing.
Right.
No one cares about my kids. It's way too hard. It's way too late. Like, we're not trying to breach into like the CIA's headquarters. We're just simply getting benign data that it's personal, yes, but it's not like.
But if your people are really smart, like hackers are really smart, you think it's benign personal data, but they can use that to try to figure out like what your passwords are or different things like that. Like there's a lot more at play here.
Or in your case, what you ate last night.
Exactly. Yes. Lay off the fiber, Rick.
Well,
results inconclusive. He had Mexican last night.
The first box I sent in.
Wait, it's all seriousness. How many times have you done this?
Twice, and I'm going on a third time.
Okay, now it's turning into a fetish. You just enjoy mailing your feces.
Well, it's like it's really fucked up.
Apparently,
this whole
certainly
thing
is. Right?
This whole thing, and you're a cancer survivor, so you know the severity.
I never mailed my poop though.
Yeah, I sent my first stool sample, and it was too soft. Okay, and I knew it was because I was kind of like not feeling great, like I was kind of sick. But they kept fucking hounding me with these emails. Send us your shit. Where's your shit? Like, I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it. Here's your shit. And they get it. They're like, oh, well, we need it again. I said, okay. I give it to them again. They're like, it's too heavy. You gave us too much.
Wait, how could you possibly give them too much?
I dropped a big deuce.
Oh my God. Wouldn't they just take what they needed though and discard the rest? I
mean,
don't understand.
Unless it was hanging out of the lid and you'd put the lid on it.
I really hate this potty talk.
You brought
this potty humor, but it's like it is what it is. This is a reality. We're in our late 40s, coming on 50.
Coming up on 50.
I don't believe it.
It's the time we live in. And I just feel like, okay, we talk about like this is reality. We have to do this.
Absolutely.
But don't make it so hard. So you make it hard, but getting the results was my whole point. Like that was ridiculous. But yeah. So third time they're gonna give it to me. I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna FaceTime them. I'm like, okay, I'm now pooping into the box. Do you see it? Is this okay? Let's just save everyone a lot of time.
Did they give you like an illustration of like the ideal, the optimal size poop?
Yeah. It looks like Mr. Hanky, really.
Right,
like
nice.
Like when a little kid draws a poop.
Yep.
That's great. Did I tell you I do impressions?
That's a shitty one. Well, let's move on. I talked a little bit about myself and my Cologuard. You talked about your trials and tribulations of working with your folks. Liz, what's up with you?
Well, last week I teased a story about my son.
Yeah,
if we would like to get into that, I'd be happy to.
Let's get into that, and then we'll close with you have Am I the Assholes? If there's enough time
I do.
For that.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
cool. Let's bang it out.
All right, so listeners, if you heard the episode from last week, I did mention that I got, when I was in the middle of making dinner a couple weeks ago, I got a text from my son's girlfriend's mom saying, "Oh, hey, Liz, just reaching out because I guess the kids have been talking about having a sleepover." And I didn't get past that because I was in the middle of having something on the stove. I'm like, oh my God. And I immediately freak out and I'm like, and I am such a knee-jerk reaction type of person too. And I'm like, I don't want to burn dinner, but this is crazy, a sleepover. So my son's girlfriend lives 35 minutes away. So she drives, but oftentimes I'll drive him down to see her and she drives him home. Which, it's not, she never drives him home super late or anything but I do feel bad that maybe at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, she's turning around and driving another 35 minutes home and her parents might not love that either. So, but of course my initial reaction to sleepover, teenagers, absolutely not. So then I'm trying to process, I'm cooking dinner, processing, and then so Dan and I sit down at dinner. I was like, so here's the text I got from Amelia's mom. And in fairness to her parents, the mom was like, this would be, not on a regular basis. This is sort of special circumstances type of thing. And she said, we have an extra bedroom on the 3rd floor and I wouldn't go to bed until they went to bed. And I just, want to know if you're okay with this.
You're not going to outsmart these kids.
And I'm like, well, that's the first thing I thought. It was teenagers want to be banging. You know what I mean? So I've got past sort of my knee jerk. This is nuts. Absolutely not. I can't even imagine having this conversation with the conversation would never have been had with my parents. They would have sent me off to a convent if it was even a suggestion. So Dan, who's much more calm and rational than I am, he's like, well, I mean, it's the girl's parents reaching out. Her dad was on the text too. And he's like, I mean, if they're okay with it, I'm like, I guess, but we have to have a very pointed conversation with Will about this if we're going to give the green light. So I texted her back and it's thank you so much for reaching out and, completely appreciate this. And, what you've outlined, I was basically responding in such a work manner. It's what you've outlined seems reasonable to us. Yeah. And under those parameters, we're comfortable and whatever.
She just needs a little more time to unpack this.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. And I was Dan and I took it offline. Yeah. And so that was that. And so then later on that weekend, I sat Will down and I said, so, texted with Amelia's parents about the idea of a sleepover. And I said, since they're comfortable with it, Dad and I decided we're comfortable with it. But to be clear, this is not going to be a regular thing. This is going to be, if you guys go to a late movie or she's got a soccer game, so whatever, just under certain circumstances. And I said, and let me tell you this right now. If you get caught in her room or she gets caught in your room, you'll never see her again. Her parents will never allow you to see her if you disrespect their rules. And I said, Dad and I almost never say no to you because we are giving you respect and trust.
Sure.
And until you break that, you have it. And I said, don't break it. And I go, if you get caught fucking her in her parents' house, you're fucking dead.
Oh, wow.
So, Mom! So they did have a sleepover.
Oh, they did. It happened.
They did.
It happened
A couple weeks ago or whenever it was. And so I texted, because he told me, he's like, oh, I'm going to Amelia's soccer game, and I can't remember where it was, and then I'm sleeping, and her game was at night, and then I'm sleeping over. And I was like, okay, well, her parents know, right? And he said, yeah, but I texted her mom just to be sure. It's I just want to confirm, we're good here. And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So that was it. He left, went to the sleepover, and 10 a.m. the next morning, I texted him, and I was like, what you doing? He's like, I'm in my room waiting for Amelia to come get me. When I picked him up later that day, I was like, was it weird, like sleeping over and waking up? He goes, kinda. He goes, like, I didn't really know what to do when I woke up, so I just waited for her to come get me to go have breakfast. So
that's great. You've traumatized him to the point now where he never wants to be with the woman again.
Yeah. So fine. Like, again, what I worry about is, because he's, kids are kids, right? If you give them permission to do something once, they think I will always have permission to do this. Yep. So I just want to continue to reinforce, like, this is not a regular thing. Like, just because you're hanging out with her on a Saturday night doesn't mean like, oh, slumber party. Yeah. But yeah, it was a milestone moment for me as a parent.
Wow.
Because I could have said, no, this is crazy. Yeah. And and listeners, there's some of you out there right now going, I can't, what a fucking horrible parent you are, Liz. Like, I mean.
I'm thinking, what a cock block. Right. Geez, not the cool mom.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? You both have daughters.
Yeah, I do.
And you please feel free to critique how I handled the situation. You
want to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll go. Okay, so I'm surprised that not just you, but you and Dan both signed off on this. And
I was surprised he did, to be honest with you.
And prior to that, I mean, your Dan's a little more conservative, and if you don't know what we're talking about, so he's more of a traditional, like. To me, this sounds like to use the word, like if my kid came up to me and said, Dad, can we do this, blah, 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 fights back and forth, I'd just say, you know what? At the end of the day, my argument is it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Like, why? Dude, you're going to put yourself through torture. Have you ever been to a strip club?
It's a great analogy.
Like,
right?
There's no sex in the champagne room. Like, Chris Rock used to say that, right? Yeah. You might think otherwise, but no. I understand the situation with extenuating circumstance. 35-minute drive.
Right.
I mean, if they both lived in the same town.
Oh, it would be a no-go.
Right,
yeah.
Right? So this is all about... I mean, you do you, and if it works for you guys, and there's a trust, that's great. I'm not there yet, actually. I have younger kids, so this is very like
advanced.
You would probably be having this kind of awkward reaction at this stage of parenting too, right?
Completely.
If you had an older friend in high school,
teenagers are like a totally different breed.
My daughter's in sixth grade.
Yeah.
It's like brush your teeth.
Right.
That's where we're at.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And you're talking about sleepovers and things, and driving, and this is a whole different.
Yeah.
It's a level up, and it's a different world. Like I've said, you got to raise your kids for the world that they're in, not the one you were raised in. But is our world really coming to the point where co-ed sleepovers? Also, sleepover sounds like fun and youthful. Like, they're like just eating popcorn, watching a movie.
Right, yeah. I know. Maybe a pillow fight.
Yeah. Oh, pillow fight.
I'm also shocked that the father is letting an adolescent boy dating his daughter come into the home and spend the night.
Yeah, I know.
All for the convenience of you not having to, extend yourself that extra 35-minute drive. I'd be like, get out of my house. It's 11 o'clock, buddy.
I do have to give her dad credit because in the text exchange with the parents, he said, I just want to acknowledge how awkward this conversation is. I really appreciate it. I was like, thank you.
I think it's a sign of how much they respect your son, to be honest.
I hope so. Thank you.
You would invite a man-child into the house with my daughter? Like,
Yeah.
I know.
That's a good point. Also, you're teaching these kids responsibility, maturity, and all that stuff. But then again, like, I don't know.
It's tough. Like, the way I look at it is, so he'll be 16 soon. In reality, he's going to be out of our house in a couple of years, in theory. Like, going to college.
He's got to learn.
He's going to be in situations where he has to have sound judgment and evaluate a scenario and be like, what's the right thing to do here, So... And maybe this was a premature, but I mean, as far as I know, it worked out okay.
Yeah. Hey, as long as the phone doesn't ring in 3 months.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God.
I just did this thing where I always reflect back to my childhood. Like when I have to make a decision, or if I see my kid doing a thing, I'm like, how did my parents handle it? And then I go, okay, do exactly the opposite of that. And that's probably what you should do. I honestly do that sometimes with like my kids. Is like, that was definitely not what to do. I look back and I'm like, not in freshman year, but junior and senior year, there were definite like hanging out and waking up the next day with, I guess, co-ed sleepovers. Yeah. Right? Like they it's just like, hey, we're all going over so and so's house, and we all just wake up. But it wasn't just one-on-one. It was like five.
A group.
Yeah, like we had a full-blown orgy. You know, like, it's like,
good for you.
I mean, that's how we rolled in New Hampshire. Right. There's like not much to do up there. So you're like 6 of us.
So hey, Scuttlebutts, if you guys have an opinion or feedback on how I handled or mishandled this situation, bring it on. This is my first rodeo parenting a teenager, and I find like having to make decisions almost in the moment with brand new situations that I hadn't even thought of would occur is really hard. Like I never would have imagined that his girlfriend's parents would text me about a sleepover, and now I'm like, now we have to deal with this. Yep. And you kind of have to deal with it pretty immediately. And so it's hard, I could, and 6 months from now, maybe I'll Monday morning quarterback this decision and be like, I can't believe I did that, but I don't know. I made the decision based on how I felt and the knowledge I had at that moment. I
think you did great.
Thank you, Evan.
Bravo to you.
Thank you.
Seriously, that was great.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I personally, as of right now, I would say, nope, not necessary. I'll come pick you up, whatever. You don't just you're a kid, just have a relationship. It's this little too expedient for me, right? Just chill out. But every situation is unique, and you have a personal relationship, and there are some things there's some lessons to learn here. There's trust. Also, to Evan's point, like, says something about your kid. I mean, to be invited into the home for the night.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
He probably doesn't extend that offer to everybody,
I hope not. I hope not. There's not like a revolving door of teenage boys coming in out of the house.
She's like, Will, don't worry about it. You're like the 9th boyfriend.
I would also like to commend your son on dating an older woman. Right? I don't know that we've gone over that.
Yeah, was she a junior?
She's a junior. She's 17. Him. Yeah.
And he's a freshman?
Sophomore. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yep.
So,
All right.
That's my story.
All right. Where do we go from here?
Do you want to transition to Am I the Asshole?
Well, we were talking about slumber parties. Do you have any like hot slumber party stories, Liz? Any? No, nothing.
No,
nothing.
No, it's slumber parties.
Fights,
no, I mean it's not like in the movies.
Did you ever have a homoerotic experiment with women?
No. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror. That's about as close as I've gotten.
We used to run around in our underwear in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
As like our thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
How old exactly?
Oh, like 10 years old. One night we were like, a bunch of us were like, let's go run around the neighborhood in our underwear. And we knew one guy was a state trooper. He'd bring the cruiser home. We'd be like, let's go run around, do a lap around the state trooper's house.
Oh my God.
And then we'd just be running around. And this like little pack of 10-year-old boys in our tighty whities.
Oh my God.
Really late, like 10:15,
Oh my God.
And we're running around. I remember one time, Fight or Flight definitely played a part. We were on, their last name was Farrell's. We're on the Farrell's house, and we're all just like joking around, and they heard us, and you hear, "Get off the lawn, boys!" And we all run back, and we're like, "Where's Chip?" We look over. Chip is like this. Frozen like a statue.
Oh my God!
He like you know when it's like goats when they fall over. Like he literally could not move, and we're like, Chip, run! You're in your underwear. Mr. Farrell's getting
so great.
Yeah,
he's thinking if he doesn't move, they can't see him.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God!
Hilarious.
And you guys thought like that was just like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, we would also go swimming in other people's pools.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which, man, you have every right to be absolutely bullshit as a homeowner. Like, dude, you die in my pool, I'm fucked.
Exactly.
Oh, big time.
Yes. Yep.
You know, that's why we have gates and stuff. But these were like, in our neighborhood, just little above ground pools with, you just hop over the thing. You run and jump over it and dive into it like a dolphin. You know? And
Did you guys ever get caught doing that?
Oh yeah, we that was the thrill. Like let's just take it to and then we're in your pool.
Menace.
And then it's just like you see like 5 guys just crawling out of the pool.
And the 80s were awesome, weren't they?
90s. This is early.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Well, now we're in the 90s, early 90s. Right. High school.
Wait, you did that in high school?
Well,
I thought we were still in the
it
10-year-old.
was like it went from 10 to 18.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sorry. The pool stuff was a little bit later. Yeah, probably 16, 17.
You didn't have anything better to do?
Oh, not 17. No. Concord, New Hampshire. We would get our rollerblades on and hold onto the bumper of the car, and we'd go down.
Oh my God.
30 miles an hour holding on. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah. But we're going on a tangent. Did you have am I the asshole?
Yes.
And I'm disappointed that you guys didn't have any cool sleepover parties. Like,
I do. You didn't ask me.
Oh.
I did. I said, did you have any? Like, I was joking about, I don't want to know about
Well, yeah, no.
experimenting with homosexuality. Sleepover.
There was
you had to do something cool. Like, you had to be deviant. Like, fireworks in mailboxes at 1 a.m.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Because girls don't get into shenanigans like that. We just watch scary movies and talk about boys.
Yeah. And makeup, right? Didn't you guys do makeup?
Yes, lots of makeup and, hair and what have you. Sweet, innocent fun.
Barbies?
I think by the time we were old enough to have sleepovers, we weren't into Barbies anymore. It was like makeup boys, that type of thing.
Yep. And you have no brothers, just sisters, right?
Correct. Yep.
So were all the sisters involved in the sleep? Like, did you guys have mutual friends? No?
No. So there's not that much of an age difference between my sisters and I. So my middle sister's 18 months younger than me, and my youngest sister's 3 years younger than me. But, I mean, I was never going to let them hang out with me and my friends during sleepovers because they were losers.
Yeah. You had to be very territorial with the sleepover, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Like, I remember the negotiating was done prior, too. Like, you do not come here. This is over here. Yep. All right. Well, anyway, do you have anything to add? Are we done with sleepover talk?
We'll hit it another time.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So, Evan, as a realtor, I wanted to get your take specifically on. I've got 2 Am I the Asshole? So I'll start with one. If we have time, we'll get to the other one. But Reddit. Okay. Am I the asshole for not pressuring? Although this guy doesn't know how to spell pressuring, and it's pressurizing. I don't know. I hope he didn't think that was actually the word. Am I the asshole for not pressuring my friend to let my wife be his real estate agent? My wife and I have recently moved to a new city where we don't know many people. One of the people we do know and who was instrumental in me getting hired at my new job is an old college friend of mine. My wife had never met before moving here. My wife decided to change careers and try her hand at real estate. My friend had mentioned in past conversations that he and his family wanted a bigger place, but the market was too high at the moment and they want a particular house in a particular suburb, so they were staying put. My wife, having worked at a firm for all of 2 days, asks me to ask him if she could make inquiries for them and basically be their realtor. She repeatedly said to me, "No pressure if you feel weird about asking." I did. And it's fine if they say no. I don't really like mixing friends with business, but I asked him anyway. He said they already had a realtor that he's used in the past, blah, blah, blah. When I told my wife this, she later started saying pretty unkind things like, "Well, my boss told me not to waste my time on idiots who are just time wasting and don't really want to sell anyway." However, she also took aim at me, saying that I should be more supportive of her new career. Ooh. Again, this is 2 days old. Yeah. And try to help convince my friend to let her sell his house. I got the feeling he was being polite to me when he said no the first time, and he's actually not wanting someone with 3 days of experience selling his $1.1 million home. And as he's one of the only people I know in this city, I don't feel it's a good idea to pressure him. For this reason, my wife says I'm not being supportive and therefore an asshole.
Ooh. Boy, he's in a pickle, huh?
Right?
He is not an asshole. Sir, whoever you are, wherever you may be, let me tell you, you are not an asshole. Your wife, however, is a bitch. Yeah. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he did everything he was supposed to do. Right. I mean, she's got 2 days of experience. Mm-hmm. The guy said, the boss, right? It's the boss.
Yep.
He already said, I'm working with a realtor. So like at that point, you got to kind of shut it down. It sounds like the husband did make the offer on the wife's behalf.
Yep.
He said, no, thank you. And you got to move on.
You check the box and you got to move on. Yes.
And, I think the husband should move on, too. This isn't like, how local is this? Is this like,
I don't know. It's from wherever.
It's actually one of your clients.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, make the ask and then move on. Like, take them out of the sales funnel. It's
right.
That's a dead end.
That's a dead lead.
Yep.
Time to put your
and also,
time and energy elsewhere.
Whoa.
Oh, dear. Stupid microphone.
This is why we're getting a new studio. So anyway. You do like 10 minutes here.
This is great. You were making fun of me all the beginning of the show.
Oh, my God. All right, so I do have another one. That's one I definitely want your perspective on, because this one is asking, am I the asshole for wanting to fire our realtor?
Oh.
So my partner and I have been working with a realtor on the purchase of our first home. She showed us a few houses. We placed a couple of offers. One came through. However, following the inspection, we were told there were simply too many issues. We didn't feel comfortable moving forward. Since we're in New York, we also have to work with an attorney, and our realtor recommended the one that we're using. We've told our agent and the attorney countless times that we want to cancel the contract, acknowledge that we might lose the funds in our escrow account. We've been trying for an entire week to get the attorney on the phone, no luck. Every time we tell our realtor we want to cancel the contract, she comes back with, oh, well, the seller is willing to fix things, and that's really not common in this market. Are you sure you want to cancel? What are you guys thinking of doing? We're so fed up with the realtor and the attorney. Realtor says as soon as we get this contract canceled, we can just keep looking. But at this point, we don't trust the realtor or the attorney because neither of them is accepting what we're telling them. Our loan officer has been the only helpful person in the situation. To some extent, I understand that there's not a whole lot the realtor can do, but I just wish she would listen to us. And like our loan officer told us, in this market, why wouldn't our realtor just tell the seller's agent that we want to cancel so they can move on to some of the other offers instead of dragging this out further? I feel like she's not advocating for us. She didn't even stay for the inspection report. So when we told her it was bad, she said, when I left, I thought that everything was okay. The report seems really clean to me, but she wasn't there for the actual conversation. Once we get this all straightened out and cancel the contract, we of course want to hit the ground running, but we want to use a different realtor because this experience has just completely soured us. Am I the asshole for switching realtors after all of this?
Boy, this is a lot to unpack.
Right?
So it
He
sounds like
unpack.
He did.
Do a lap.
Did I just say?
Do a lap. That's a warning.
It sounds like they're saying when they wanted to cancel the contract, they're trying to cancel the contract on the house, or they want to cancel the contract with the agent?
I interpret it as the contract with the house because so many issues came up during the inspection and their realtor was not listening to them. Okay,
so ultimately, they didn't feel good about the whole situation. They wanted to cancel the contract on the house. There were some home inspection issues. And as a result of all of this stuff, they also wanted to cancel their buyer contract with the agent. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Unless you're in this situation, it's really tough to... It sounds tough to defend if the agent left the home inspection and all that. But, there's always two sides to every story.
Right.
And I'm always going to defend the realtor because I am. And, I could tell that same story the other way.
Right.
10 different ways. But... I think sometimes there are relationships that just have to come to an end, professional relationships like that. Usually they, this sounds a little bit more contentious, but usually they can you just drift apart. And it's a little bit more amicable, you know? And you just you look at each other and it's kind of like, when you're dating, it's like, this is working or it's not. And that's sort of how it works for me. So in this situation, no one is the asshole.
I like that you came at it from hey, we have to give the benefit of the doubt here because based on your experience, there could have been a million other things at play here that we just don't know.
Right.
So have you ever had a situation where you had a relationship with a client and you were like, you know what? this dynamic is just not working.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it's like a lot, but I need the money, so you try to make it work. Look, this particular profession, you have to be flexible. You can't. Yeah. You have to. Sometimes you got to do the things that you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, you've put a lot of time, money, and effort into it, and whatever reason. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not about me or them or anybody else. It's about the deal. Mm-hmm. And as long as the deal goes through, my job is to sell houses, whether it's to help you buy it or help you sell it. So as long as the deal goes through, you can hate each other at the end. But if the deal goes through, usually everybody is happy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I pick a story or pick a year.
Well, at least in your situation, there's a definite end to the relationship, right? Like it's eventually you're going to sell that house or help that person buy the house, and you're like, see you later. Yeah, right. Exactly. You can just peace out and move on and whatever.
Yeah, and that's usually the best way to do it, and there are people that I will not speak to again, but that's my choice, and it's like sometimes it can be toxic, and who the heck wants that?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, those are my Am I the Asshole stories, the realtor version.
I love it.
Thank you, Evan, for your professional perspective.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we got a resident realtor here, so
you're very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of houses, you might have been hearing some gnat sound of hammering in the background. That's an electrician putting a light bulb in.
Must be some light bulb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, is that a hammer? So we'll be in there next week.
You guys will be in there next week. I won't be.
I hope so.
I won't be here.
That's right. Week. Can we talk about that?
Sure. I'll be in Charleston this time next week.
Okay, awesome. So you're going to be on your 50th birthday party.
Extravaganza.
All right.
Without your husband and kids. It's just girlfriends.
It's just girlfriends.
And you picked the destination?
I did. So I wanted to go somewhere I'd never been before.
Yeah. It's beautiful there.
In true dork form, I wanted to go somewhere where I would learn something and I would come home smarter, and probably hungover, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing a walking tour, we're having a spa day, we're doing shopping and brunch and lots of yummy dinners. So yeah,
awesome.
It's gonna be lovely.
I've never been there, but
yeah, me either. Oh. So I'm so excited.
Well, I have. I kind of know everything you need to know about it. World's Worst Strip Club. Oh! It was the weirdest situation. They had like bench seating.
I can't imagine there would be a good strip club in Charleston. Did they wear pearls?
They were nothing. It's a strip club, Liz. No, they were only topless. But anyway, I was in my 20s. Wouldn't go to one of those establishments nowadays. Such a refined gentleman.
So you guys have fun christening the new studio.
Yeah. So well, I wanted to say, don't go to that strip club.
Okay. It wasn't on the itinerary. Okay, good. Now I won't call an audible and recommend it.
You're gonna get hit up by street vendors trying to get you to go on their ghost tour. Oh. And they're going to try to get $20 from you to lock it in, and then you're going to not give a shit about that ghost tour later, but they're going to pester you. Like, that's the way it was with me. Everywhere you went, you want to go on our ghost tour? No. Yay, ghost tour. Do this. It's like, how many ghosts are in do I need the tour? It sounds like they're just everywhere.
Wow, what a calling card.
Yeah. They have a great flea market. I don't know if they have this whole place, and everyone just comes out and
sells their wares.
Yeah, but it's like a flea market has a cheapened name, but this is different.
Okay.
And the food there is great. The alcohol, the South is a little weird. Like they serve drinks with alcohol, in the nips bottles, measured pours. They did when I was down there. I was like, what the fuck is this? Just pour it in with a bottle, like a 1 ounce pour.
So bring your own nips.
Yeah.
That's the rule there.
Yeah, and the other thing was they had. I don't remember the name of it, but it was just the South, right? This is just northerner observational. That's not how we do it where we come from. Every resort in Hilton Head is called a plantation. That's not.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Yeah, I don't. When I was there 10 years ago with the family, I was like, the name's got a connotation. I just want to relax. I don't want to be on a plantation. I want to be on a resort. Call it a resort.
Right.
So this place has the slavery museum, and it was just bam, slavery right here, guys, step right up. And I'm like, what a beautiful city. And then there's this right here, it's it's an important thing.
Yes,
you know,
a stark reminder of where we
But
came
it was
from.
just almost like, hey, check it out. We used to have slavery. Like, I don't know. Like, it just was like, you know, it was cultural. It was kind of a culture shock almost.
Oh.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Like just to see a slavery museum. I'm like, whoa, hey. I was just...
You don't see that every day.
Right.
At least up here.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just having, a very measured, pour alcoholic drink at this place next door. And, I just came from the flea market. I'm just enjoying myself. And then bam. Anyway.
Did you pop in?
No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't do that. But the food there is great. The food is great.
Yes, that's what I hear, and I'm excited about the restaurants we've got reservations at. And
a brunch in South Carolina has got to be like the ultimate brunch.
Yes, that's what I think. Bloody Mary. Oh. Very excited.
You're going at a great time of year, too.
I know. It's going to be like season. Mid to high 70s next week.
Yeah, it's not too hot. South can get sticky.
Yeah.
And bugs. Bugs?
Really?
Oh, God, the bugs are insane, man. Like, do you ever see, like, people, like, out in their outdoor pool, but it's kind of an indoor, like,
that
fenced
lanai.
in? Yeah. That's Florida is very popular for that.
Yeah.
My buddy lived in North Carolina on a golf course, and at night we go out on the golf course and just whack some balls, and it's like just getting pelted with bugs everywhere. It's disgusting.
Gross.
Yeah, but you're gonna love. No, it's a beautiful city. So are you going to the beaches?
No beaches. I feel like it's too early for a beach, and I don't really like I don't care about going to the beach.
Really?
Either.
You don't like to walk up and down the beach or anything?
I'll do a little stroll up and down the beach, but I don't go in the water. The Atlantic Ocean's fucking disgusting.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Unless you're in Bermuda, that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say until it turns aqua. So okay.
It's gross.
Okay.
So no treasure hunting with like a metal detector. You don't do that.
No.
The whole beach.
You could start your own TikTok channel. It would be unbelievable.
No, but like, what do girls do? Like, okay, you're going to the city. What do you do? Like, you wake up in the morning.
Yes, we'll like hang out, have coffee, go for walk, shop, lunch, walking tour, dinner, spa day the next day. Probably more shopping, more walking, more eating. Like we're very comfortable just like hanging out and like go like exploring the city. Like we don't need activities.
Yeah, you're just gonna get up and go. Like that's the general idea. Cool.
Yes.
How many days?
So we're leaving Thursday afternoon and coming home Sunday night.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm psyched. So
can't wait to hear the stories.
I can't wait to bring the stories.
How do you feel about turning 50?
So my Dan's 4 years older than me, so like I'm always the younger one in the relationship, and it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. It's the only time it bothers me is when I think that the next milestone birthday is 60, and then I think of like the Golden Girls, and I'm like, oh my god, like so that part is weird. Yeah. But other than that, I don't really.
Would
care.
you be Blanche if you were a Golden Girl?
I gotta get rid of Dan first, but. But yeah, I don't know. I think 40 bothered me more than 50. At this point, I've checked a lot of boxes professionally, and I'm fine. It's good. As long as I keep up with my Botox, it's gonna be fine.
How do you feel about people being sensitive about their age? Because you're definitely not. Like,
no, I don't know.
Women always are. What is that? Because I don't get it. I don't get I'm 47. I'm 47. Who gives a shit? Next year I'm gonna be 48. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna be 50. I've got my 50th birthday. You're very openly talking about your 50. You're gonna celebrate. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna say, I accept it. I'm 50. But why do so many women act offended, or really are offended, if age ever comes up? Like,
I don't know if it's an insecurity thing, or maybe they were super hot in their 20s and now were sort of trying to reclaim youth, and I don't know what it is. I think if you're comfortable in your own skin and comfortable with yourself and where you are in life, it doesn't really matter how old you are. I
think it's tradition. I think women are supposed to be sensitive about their age, right? And it's a carryover. Okay. Like it's just the way it was, and I'm just sort of. My mom always played coy about her age, right?
Oh, really?
Well, no, I'm saying speaking on behalf of I'm just trying to understand, why do you care? Like you look like you're 70. Why would you be offended at me suggesting that you have an AARP membership?
Right, yeah.
That's weird.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's age. We all get there.
I think it's perhaps they assume you're insinuating they look older than they are, and that could be a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, nobody wants to look older than they are.
Yeah.
Liz and I met because our kids were going to a daycare facility. Okay, it was just daycare. All right, they'll have you think it's a pipeline to Harvard because they called it Castle Hill Academy. The castle was actually a split level home, and the hill was a 5-degree grade up a driveway. But there was a teacher there in the infant room who once, you know her, she says to me, "Oh, my birthday's coming up. Oh, great, happy birthday." She says, "How old do you think I am?"
Oh God.
So I took the age. I said, "She looks 40. I'm going to take 5 years off and be a stud." I said 35. She goes, "How did you know?" So I nailed it. I nailed it by giving her a 5-year forgiveness.
Wow. But
she didn't know that part.
She probably secretly was annoyed that you didn't guess 30.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Oh, I look exactly my age." So here's a 35-year-old who set me up, right? Like, you ask a guy that, the guy is not going to give you an honest answer. But I'm saying to the guys, doing a 5-year variance isn't enough. Go 10.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go 10.
absolutely.
Yes.
Because the kind of person the kind of woman that will ask you that question is the kind of woman that's going to go scorched earth if you come within a year or two.
You're going to ruin her month.
Her birthday.
I mean.
One of my best lines if there's like an open house or something and there's clearly a mother and her daughter, you know, and like the daughter is probably in her 30s or 40s and the mother is in her 50s or 60s or whatever it is. I'm always like, "Oh, you brought your sister along with you."
Oh,
and that one works really well. That mom is eating out of the palm of my hand.
The daughter's like, "The fuck? I don't look 60."
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you win over the mom. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I have a heart out in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So.
All right. So how are we going to fill this 2 minutes, guys? Let's take it right to the end, right to the brink.
Right.
All right, Liz, this is your time to shine. Take us out of here.
All right, Scuttlebutts, thank you guys, as always, for listening. If you like what you hear, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Hit us up, smalltownscuttlebutt@gmail.com, and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook at, wait, are we on YouTube too? Oh, yeah, we do. All right, so Instagram and Facebook at Small Town Scuttlebutt, and find our YouTube channel, Small Town Scuttlebutt.
Peace.